right. Both streams should be up and running here in just a second. We'll go over the market, go over today's plays as we do every market close. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for May 24th, 2021. Q's up 1.68 and SPY up just about 1%. Okay, you're looking at the hourly chart there. Let's take a look at the daily. Q's and SPY both above the 20 MA now, and both have hourly charts that are going into uptrends. Okay, into uptrends, higher highs and higher lows since the end of last week, since really I guess mid last week. Okay. We've been anticipating that that would be the case, that Qs and SPY are more likely to resolve higher as they've been kind of chopping around back and forth, inside a little bit more range bound here, and then expecting that we'll get through. Anticipating that this move on Friday was going to be a higher low and start the move up. If you were trading with me this morning in the room, that I was saying how this was the fact that we were gapping up made things a lot easier, because if were gapping down, then we'd be back into the middle of the range, and that's not enough for me to be bearish. But it would be back to kind of wait and see. Okay, the fact that we're gapping up makes it easy. It doesn't guarantee that we'll be bullish, but what's nice about it is that with the gap up, is that, okay, if we come back underneath Friday's low, we know not to be bullish anymore. But we're going to remain bullish as long as the market either holds up here or continues to move up. And so what we got today is the grind higher, okay? So that was easy. We start off bullish in the morning. It didn't give us any reason not to be bullish. And so the market bias, I think, was pretty clear. Like I said, that was kind of the easier scenario. Is that we just gap up, and then that'll trigger, kind of the next move up after the pullback, and then we can go from there. Going into tomorrow, still bullish. Okay, we have had a decent move up, but still bullish. If it's a big gap up, I think that's fine to be bearish, like right at the open, but we don't have to be bearish on any kind of gap up just because we already got a pullback here. Okay. So today's move is bullish, confirming the bullishness. Going into tomorrow will be bullish. We may get, if we get a small gap down, I expect us to kind of hold. Maybe it'll be an inside day, inside of today's day, but especially moving forward, longer term, back to bullish on the Qs and the SPY. Okay, and then here's the Qs. Okay, weekly buy setup is triggered. Okay, so that's the alignment that we're talking about. Okay. The hourly, daily back above the 200, weekly triggering the buy setup. So bullish going into tomorrow. Now, just because we're bullish doesn't mean that we're looking to play everything long. In fact, today I did not have any of the gap ups on the favorites list to be played. Everything on my list was from the gap downs list, and everything I was looking to play lower. Okay. So the favorites were the SFT. You can see that was gapping down. The EDU and the TAL, they kind of go together. They don't really trade like lockstep, but they eventually do the same thing. It's just sometimes one of them bounces while the other one's moving lower, but generally they end up kind of doing the same thing. So EDU, TAL, both bearish, breaking support, a little bit extended on the daily. And then the DG I thought was okay, breaking some support here, but kind of a stronger, larger time frame chart. You can see like the weekly, it's not like nearly as damaged. Look at the SFT, all out downtrend. EDU really broken uptrend, really broken uptrend. DG I was on the list, but this one I kind of liked the least. Okay, but actually DG did have some opportunities. You can see it did close here at the lows. Nice little late day breakdown here actually on the DG into the end of the day. It looks a little bit like the VFC from Friday. Nice late day breakdown there, and their DG also today. Okay, a little bit sloppy in the base, coming from the top to the bottom, but hey, it worked. So this one I didn't get any plays on the DG, and this probably, if it was, it would have to be at somewhere kind of closer to the bottom. This base breakdown is okay. Any sell setups in here are okay. Nothing up here. If on this run up, it wouldn't be anything I'd be looking to do. I see that it worked well, but I know this is not my kind of play. Okay, so the DG was fine. That one kind of gave the least amount of focus to the EDU. Sammy had a nice call in the afternoon here on this similar kind of 15-minute sell setup here, and then did a base and then broke down from there. So that was good. Tal also worked. I think Tal was okay to play right in here. You can see there's a little bit of sell setup and gives a secondary entry. That was pretty nice. The Wish I did call. This I actually found a little bit later. But this goes back to the daily, the weekly charts. The ones that are really weak are just continuing to go, especially when they show momentum. Look at all that volume today. This we actually played on this day also, this Wish. So, waiting for that momentum to come back, and then looking for a chance to get in. So, the Wish was a relative weakness find later in the day and was played in the morning. The numbers were 843 by 856. Okay, so right here we put this whole thing together here, and this was the play. Okay, that base right there. Let's go to the 2 minute. Check it out. Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. Only thing I didn't love on this was that it went from the stop to the entry in this one drop. So I wasn't too thrilled about that, but I was like, okay, well, you're gonna play it anyway, and so I stuck with it. Did a little bit of pullback. Did try to add here, but I couldn't get filled on the ad. As soon as the ad triggered, you can see it just started going. So I did try to add and lower the stop here, but I wasn't able to get filled. Happens. Things are on an uptick. Okay, and it just started going. The first portion trailed out over, I think, 820 while we were trailing 1 minute bar by bar. Yeah, on the first kind of move lower, trailed right there, 820. The next piece, when the volume came in, trailed over 805 there. So pretty painless move once it got going there. We did have to live through the tiniest of pullbacks here, and that was fine. I wasn't too worried about it. And then the last piece did trail off of the hourly over 820. Okay, so right over that bar. So that was fine. It got to 2 Rs there, and then I think we ended up with about 1.5 after the last piece trailed there. So that's fine. It's just okay. I think it's still lower probably, but I think today, is a decent enough move. I'm not going to be watching it really tomorrow. I mean, it could break the lows. I was hoping it would do it today. That would have been given us, a lot of better chance for an all-day hold. We were in it for most of the day, but, I was just looking for that support to potentially break today. And I can tell, from the open that, today should have a decent enough move. Should be a wider range bar because of all the volume. I just didn't know how much or how wide. Okay. So that was pretty good. So you can see, even on a day like today, right, Qs and SPY are bullish and we're uptrending all day, that, they ended up, these are the things that are on their own page, right? These are the things that kind of stand out, and showing a lot of relative weakness. So it doesn't mean, that if the market's bullish that I'm only going to play long or anything. But it is good to understand what the market's doing, because a lot of the items that are gapping up, right, might just be gapping up due to the market. That's why I have more confidence in playing these, because I know they're on their own page. Now, what if the market didn't move up all day? What if the market had a deep pullback or something, like in the morning or something? I think that only would have helped these: the Wish, the Tau, the EDU, and the DG. So the methodology doesn't really change. If anything, I'm a little bit more focused on the relative weakness. Okay, and so that changes from day to day. Last week we had some days. I think on this day, on the Qs, when the Qs had the gap down, on this day, or I think it might have been this day, last week, played a couple longs that were the ones that worked. So it's because what we're focused on are the things that are not market dependent, but we still have to be aware of what the market's doing. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hope you did well. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.